missing me so bad. When you left, you said that I don't deserve you, but I can see that you don't wanna lose what we had. Oh, you're the one that I need. Let's just take it slow and just breathe. Loving someone is not easy, you know, but it makes us feel alive, so we go with the flow.
Hey, good afternoon, baseball fans. This is Gorgo 2005, welcoming everybody to the channel. Hoping everybody's having a very good Sunday. We're not having a bad one here on this end. It's a little bit warm here in the room. For whatever reason, the air is not circulating the best that it could be, but hopefully we'll be able to remedy that before very, very long and be able to move on to other things. But in the meantime, what I need to let you know is some of the particulars on the stream. I did go ahead and pop for the subscription to Pretzel, paid subscription, which surprisingly they offered to me at a somewhat reduced rate from what they originally were quoting me. They were originally quoting me $15 a month. Now they're quoting me $5 a month if I prepay a year in advance. Okay, so I only ended up paying like $60 for a whole year of Pretzel licensing, which isn't bad. And as a result, you'll notice that we don't have song attributions in chat anymore. I didn't really like having all that stuff there. It's one of the main motivations I had for going ahead and popping for the fully paid version of it. Was because I think that the all those song attributions that were appearing in chat, all of you guys were staying silent, and it just seemed a little. I was overwhelmed with the song attributions and underwhelmed with posting from my people in chat. So hopefully it'll be a lot less cluttered up now, and we'll be able to see clearly what is going on in there without having to try to wade around all of the texts that came into chat from Pretzel Rock. So you will notice that I do have on most of my screens anyway album art and the track title for what is currently playing. So anyway, long way around the horn, that's what we have for right now. It's still a work in progress. I do want to give song attributions, but I do not want them appearing in chat. If I have them on a screen, everybody can still see the info about the songs. You won't have any links anymore. That was probably an inconvenient thing anyway, having those links in there. So you'll be able to check out songs by their artist, which appears last after the title of the track. So if you want to research something further that may interest you, please go that route through Google and see what you can dig up. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying the music and hoping that you folks are too. We have some business to attend to in baseball today. My Flames qualified for the playoffs. Their playoff run just recently ended, and we'll take a look at that very shortly. The Wildcats had a bit of a surprising ending, and we'll cover that in more detail. And the Juggernauts hardly ever made it out of the chute, but we'll talk about them more as we get through them. We are going to have an historical simulation today where the defending champion 1975 Cincinnati Reds will be taking on a mystery team to be named later. And if some of you folks have been following the simulations as they've been going along, you may have a fair idea of where we're going to go next. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the game. I've got a tournament up and running, and I'm leading a semifinal right now, 2-0. And I've got a sim that just came in, so let me go ahead and take a look at that sim. Hopefully I go up 3-zip. These would be my first tournament packs of the day. I do already have my 5 Twitch drops. Oh, doggone. I got beat 11-2. Jefferson City. That looks familiar. Who is that? B Phil B. Okay. Haven't run into B Phil B for a while, but he's a familiar name in OOTP and in Discord. So right now I'm leading B Phil B's Jefferson City Capitals 2-1, and we will see how this one plays out. But that's not my main team, the Flames. That's their bronze tournament team instead. So let's get out of here and go and look at our playoff qualifying Flames and see what happened with them. So right now we are in a series of post-season post-mortems on all three teams because the playoff picture is completely eliminated now for the Flames. They were the only ones to make playoffs, and they got swept in their first round, but that's another story. We are getting there. So if you bear with me a moment, here we are. Okay, good. So we got swept in a best-of-3 wild card series by the Gouverneur Destroyers. They're my division mates that finished 2 games ahead of me in the division. We had the wild card series was held in their park, even though I won 12 out of 19 regular season games with them, including a good mix of games that happened in their park. They ended up sweeping me 2-0, and I think we all know we can't rely on regular season totals or regular season results to tell us how the playoffs are going to go, because the random number generator seems to have a mind of its own, an independent mind of its own when it comes to playoffs as opposed to what it does during the regular season. So anyway, all that being said, we are sitting out the rest of the postseason, but we will be back to fight another day in Diamond. So if we look here, I can show you a little bit of something. Bear with me, please. And you'll notice underneath of my picture, underneath of my live cam capture up there, we have at least part of a title. So I'm still in the process of playing around with song information and placement on the screen, and I'm not totally happy with what I've got yet. This particular track right here is a prime example of why I'm really not happy with the way things are looking, because I don't have room to put all of the track information. The text box is not wide enough, so I have to really move that thing in order to make some use of it. So that'll come with Wednesday's stream. I'll be playing around with it some more between now and then, and hopefully we'll have everything worked out so that I can get good placement of all my information and not get in the way of anybody. But anyway, I need to ask, how's everybody doing? I think last time I looked, okay, we have 36 people in here right now. Fluffy Kitty Ninja's still running their streamathon for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Phone, hoping to strike out cancer in kids, and I fully support that. So I imagine we have a lot of people over there presently. If they haven't already gotten their drops, they're in the process of getting them perhaps over there. But anyway, the old fart's feelings aren't hurt. My skin's pretty thick, and I'm like I said, I'm really, really happy that Commish LB is getting close to his $10,000 overall goal. Last time I looked, he was sitting about 9,200 or so, if you counted all of his matching funds that he had coming in, and he had a few more matches that he was trying to promote, and he's planning on leaving everything open, I think for maybe a week. If he's able to hit that 10,000 goal, then he said he was going to stream every day this coming week and try to make that 10,000 grow even more. So I'm really, I'm plugging him. I'm wanting to boost him, but in the meantime, I got my own stuff here to attend to, and I wanted to come to this screen to show you how many years I will have been in Diamond. I mean, I started out. I went straight from entry pool to bronze league. I was able to jump because I had some pretty good results in entry pool. I spent 1 year in silver, 1 season in gold. Then I went straight to diamond, but you can see I got relegated back to gold because at that particular point in time, Diamond League consisted of only 10 leagues. And every one of those 10 Diamond Leagues was loaded to the gills with teams and players who were looking to move up to Perfect League. So they were just absolutely overwhelming my poor little team that didn't even have its live rewards completed yet. Okay, So they had quite an advantage on me, and I wasn't surprised, and I wasn't ashamed at all to get sent back to gold after my first season in diamond. But after that one season that I got sent back to gold, I have been back up in diamond and been there ever since. And next season will also be in diamond. Okay, Luke, you're 1-0 in your league championship series, 1-1. Good luck to you, buddy. Hope you can make some good of it. Hey, did you see yesterday, during my stream I had yesterday, I had a tournament with you in it. We were in the quarterfinals together, and it went to a game 7. And it turned out to be the only tournament that I won yesterday. And you were, I'm afraid, you were my victim in the quarterfinals, and I stopped you from getting packs. I moved on to win the whole shooting match to get 10 packs out of that tournament. I forget the number on it now, but I did plug your name in there and saying, okay, good luck to Luke. I hope he's in the chat. I didn't see you in the chat, but please accept my belated condolences on what my guys did to take that game 7 away from you. And it was an exciting game. It was a very exciting game. That game 7 that allowed me to move on to the semis and eventually to the finals, where I won the whole thing. But I can safely say that you were my toughest competition the entire tournament. So wishing you nothing but the best of luck in your league championship series. Go on and see if you can get to perfect league. Haven't you already been there once? I think I seem to remember that you did win one. Okay. Oh, I'm running all left-handed starting pitchers? Ah, you have noticed a secret of mine. I'm running lefty cheese without the park factors. Left-handed starting pitching? Yep. Okay. You're in PEL once a year for 1 week. Okay. Well, I think you may have already made a trip there, but I'm hoping that if you have made it once already, I hope you make it a second time. Okay, buddy? But I'm doing lefty cheese on my bronze tournament team without the park factors, because we all know that in tournaments you can't manipulate the park factors to go along with a full cheese setup, like you would have if you were trying to favor left-handed hitting. Well, number one, you would have a lineup made up of left-handed hitters, and that is primarily left-handed hitters against right-handed pitching, and have all lefties in the starting rotation and all righties in the bullpen. A lot of us here know how to do cheese, but you can't do cheese fully and do it full justice in a tournament setting, because the parks aren't manipulable. Okay, for lack of a better term, you cannot mess around with the park factors in a tournament, because every game happens in Perfect Park, which is the game's own neutral park. So any tournament, it doesn't matter what the format is, all tournaments, all the games take place in Perfect Park. So, long way around the horn. Well, all I wanted to do here was let you see that this will be my 10th season in a row. Or is that right? Let me see here. I think I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I will have my 10th season in a row in Diamond next season, starting tomorrow morning. Or if I go back another season, that would be 11 seasons out of the last 12 have been spent in Diamond. So I'm starting to feel a little bit at home in this particular level. I would like to eventually make it up to Perfect League. Who wouldn't? But for right now, I'm not too unhappy playing at the second highest level of competition in the entire game. So I'm pretty pleased to be where I'm at. I'm hopeful to at least be able to stay there and not have to make another trip back to gold. So anyway, that's about all we got going there. Let me see what's cooking outside of here. I think that one tournament that I had is still running. This 37. We have a minute and a half before the next sim. Before I jump out and take a look at team number 2, the Wildcats, to see how they ended their season last night at 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Then we'll go take a look at the third team, the Juggernauts, and check out their season end. And then come on back here to the Flames account, and we'll run our historical simulation here and take a look-see. There's my first ad break coming in. So before we move any further, let's go ahead and do our first ad break, okay? Be ready. Here we go. Hang on. Okay, gang, we are back in action. So, in this tournament that we last looked at with Phil B's Jefferson City Capitals, I have just taken a 3-1 series lead. We have a sim getting ready to come in while we are here, so we will watch this sim come in. And once it's in, then I'll move on to take a look at the Wildcats. So we'll see whether or not I move on directly to a final from here. That is, if I win this next sim, I will be in the final. So I'm hopeful to see something good come out of this. And if it doesn't happen right away, I think I might have to jump out and jump back in again. Oh wait, here we go. Sim is coming in. The doom chime has sounded. Here we go. Here we go. Anytime now, game. And we are in the finals, and get a load of this. We get to play the Doha Oilers, run by Milwaukee. We have seen that team around before. Haven't played them in a while, but they're pretty tough competitors too. So I'm happy to be in a final to get my first either 5 or 10 tournament packs of the day. I already have my 5 Twitch drops, so I've started the day off with 5 already, but I don't have any tournament packs yet. Hopefully this will pan out to be a 10-pack win, but if not, my heart won't be totally broken because I get 5 packs as a consolation prize if I lose here in the finals. So, enough said there. Let's jump out. Make sure I've got everything fully spammed. Yes, everything is fully spammed here. Let's go take a look at the Wildcats. And I do have my brand new keyboard pad in that softens the blow. I tested it yesterday with an OBS recording, and I can hear 0 keystrokes being transmitted through the keyboard to the desktop, over to the microphone, and picked up by the mic. I can't hear a single thing. So the cushion is doing its job, because I don't like to be banging away on keys and then go to listen to it in my VOD when I go to watch my VOD later to see check out the quality of what I got. I'm really less than pleased to hear keystrokes transmitted through the desktop to my key through the vibrations right there. See, you can hear that. That was me rapping on the desk. I don't have any of that when I'm doing keys. Okay. Now I got to spam myself an Iron Best of 5, and then we'll go in and look at the Wildcats. This will be my second of 3 tournaments. Oh my! I might want to take a look at that 07, but I'll look at it on the way out of here. Okay, because that gap of 17 right there is telling me that if I'm not in packs already in this best of 5, I have to make it to the finals to qualify for packs in a 16-team best of 5 tournament. So we'll check them out in just a little bit. But in the meantime, let's look at the Wildcats. And look how many packs I picked up since yesterday. Only since yesterday, I've gotten another 32 packs. Of those 32, 7 of them have come from the tournament. Okay? My Iron Best of 5s are paying off. And if you also remember from yesterday's big pack rip, I had some Iron cards that I drew that had the potential to improve my Iron tournament team. And that they did. As soon as I put those new Iron cards in, that's when I started picking up packs. I had 7 of them before the end of the day's action, which happened when I got up out of bed this morning. Okay? So, the Wildcats, if you remember them from yesterday, they started out, or they really had mostly a horrid, absolutely horrid week. We were as much as 10, 12 games under 500. We ended up 4 games under 500, which means they had quite a rebound on the very, very last day of action. So those 4 games under 500, I was really, really pleased to see. In fact, at one point in time, last night before they got eliminated from the playoffs, they got within 2 games of a wild card slot. And for where they came from to get to that far was shockingly positive to me. I was not nearly expecting anything close to that. But I was pleased to see that they did make a little bit of a comeback. Their PYT wasn't the greatest, but you'll see here that they ended up, oh, I didn't want that. I didn't want that. I wanted this. And I was going to look at the promotion relegation. That I ended up, take a look here, 9 whole games above relegation. So there was a point in time that I was facing relegation, but no more. 9 games above it, and I was only, if you look at it from this angle, you'll see that I ended up only 4 games away from a wild card slot. So the Wildcats did wildly successful over their last couple of days of action. But we're still only 1 card away from signing historical Justin Verlander, who's the topper for the Houston Astros live mission. And then the divisional topper is Charles Bender. And then after that, I get the overall topper, Henry Aaron. I am 1 card away from all 3 of those players, signing them to my team and hoping and expecting to see better results with those cards. Okay? So that's what happened here with these guys. They had some fairly good results. Oops, hang on a second, bear with me. I'm ready to spam another best of 5, but only after I take a look at something back here. We had, at the end of the season, there's a good indicator of the success I had on the last days of the season, that I had a pitcher of the month and a batter of the month all awarded on the same day. Okay? So we had some really, really nice results to justify that, and those 2 cards right there were a large part of the reason that I did so well. If they had been able to play that well over the remainder of the season, well, not too bad. I wanted to look at the promotion and relegation standings one more time. No, I want to look at the expanded standings to show you the PYT. The PYT on us, we ended up -3 on the Pythagorean, which I've had worse, I've had better. But that -3 definitely did not help us any at all. So, that -3, nothing to really be ashamed of, but nothing that really helped us much either. So, that's pretty much what the Wildcats looked like, and we picked up 32 packs since yesterday's rip, of which 7 of them were tournament packs. And there were some other ones that were mission rewards, and the rest of them were purchases from card sales. That we sold a bunch of cards that we didn't need, and I was able to buy more packs with those cards. So that's how we ended up with so many. And typically a day after a pack rip is when you're going to see the best numbers on my second and third teams. Okay? So, that having been said, let's get out of here and we'll go take a look at my juggernauts and see what they did. I do need to spam one more Iron Best of 5, and I want to look at that 5407 also. Let me spam a tournament first. Then we'll look at 5407, and then we will go take a look at my juggernauts. Okay? Okay, I want to get into this. I'm afraid if I get in there now, it's liable to do a timing thing on me. While it's running the sim, I'll go ahead and get in anyway. I might have to jump back and jump back in again, or jump out and then jump back in again, in order to get the sim to show up. But we will see. Okay. I hope. Oh, we're very, very close to a final. We are up to zip. And if we make it to the finals, we are assured of at least 2 packs and possibly 5 if we win. That's how the 16-team best of 5 tournaments work. You don't get anything at all unless you qualify for the finals. Here we go. The sim is in. Is it a 3-zip or is it a 2-1? Please be with me, RNG. It wasn't. Okay, so I got thwarted in my bid to make it to the finals, perhaps a little prematurely. But if I do make it to the finals, it will be an act that will occur kind of off screen, so to speak, because by the time that happens, I will be over in other territories. Like with the Wildcats, and maybe take a look back here on our way back to see the historical simulation happen. Okay, here we go. And I'm hoping now you folks don't hear those keystrokes at all, except for maybe a little bit of clickety-clackety, very little, but nothing coming through the keyboard to the microphone. There we are. Okay, I've got some Ace of Iron I need to spam. So there's that. Now, let's take a look and see what the Juggernauts did. We picked up 17 packs of our own since yesterday. Some of these were mission packs, and the rest of them were purchases. No tournament packs on these guys yesterday, even though I did add one Iron card that I was lucky enough to draw to my Iron tournament team. It didn't have any impact as far as getting myself into a pack earning situation, but I may not be terribly far away from one, because there's a gap of 19 here between my longest running one and the one I just fired up. So I'll take a look at that one on the way out of here. Let's see, and I'll show you the sad tale on my Juggernauts, because they didn't do so well. They didn't do so well at all. Okay, here we go. We did end with a win, and we ended up 16 games under 500 after a season that saw us in the low 20s under 500 at the lowest point. We did have a little bit more of a positive ending, so we were no longer in the division basement where we spent most of our season, but we did work our way up to 4th place. Only 27 games out of first. Kind of embarrassing there. But here, this is Ludlud, our good buddy Ludlud. That's his Joe Creedy fanship up there that easily, by 11 games, took the division title. So I was happy for Ludlud to make it up there. He operates this team as Chi Sox Fan 33, but it's actually, I found out from asking him in Discord, hey, Ludlud, is this you? And he says, yep, that's me. So I'm glad to see him winning a division. We might take a look at the league playoffs here to see how far he is progressing. I'm hoping that he's doing well. Okay, Ludlud, are you in the chat anywhere, buddy? Let me see. I can tell real quick who's in and who's not. No, Ludlud. I see Luke 1111, but I do not see Ludlud 83. Okay. So, let's see. bear with me a moment here. Yeah, 73 and 89. And this team is fully loaded with Hank Aaron and all of the rest of the live mission rewards. I also have a tournament reward card here in this gold chicken wolf. I think it's the last gold card I have left. After I took out my gold second baseman, I had Jeff Kent playing second base, and I replaced him a little late in the week, about 2 or 3 days late, as a matter of fact, with Fred Pfeffer, who I drew on Wednesday and then promptly forgot to add him to my team. Jeff Kent stuck in there for another day or so, longer than he needed to. But we got him kicked out of there. He's now sitting on the pines over in reserves. And this Fred Pfeffer card, who's arguably, and I've heard this bantered back and forth, is arguably the best second baseman in Diamond that is not a perfect card, okay? That he has a really nice defense. He's got good range. Let's look at that card real quick, and you can see what it's made of. See? His turn double play is his strongest trait. And his infield range is not back-breakingly slow, but it's not the best. But he is a really good fielding second baseman. That shows up here if we look at my home screen to see what my defensive numbers look like. There was a little bit of a downturn because I was positive on zone rating at going into yesterday's action. So something must have happened to take my zone rating down a notch into the negative. Yeah, we were looking good, but we were 9th in the conference in zone rating. Let me see what this. This is going to be a postseason sim, and this one might affect Ludlud. We will take a look at him here in just a moment, so that we can try to cheer him on vicariously. Let's look at the postseason coverage, and I'll look at the tree. Okay, and it appears that Ludlud got knocked out. He got swept in the division series by the Anchorage Freeze. And these 4 teams that are still active, these are the 4 that will get promoted from bronze up to silver next season. Okay, the Anchorage Freeze, San Juan Gaisticos, the Atlanta United, and the Flint Tropics. Those are the 4 that will be moving on to silver. And they're currently leading their respective best of 7 series 2-0 on both fronts. But there, Ludlud took his division series squarely on the chin, got swept 3-0 by these Anchorage Freeze. It appears that the Anchorage Freeze has yet to lose a game in this postseason. They swept their wild card series, they swept their division series, but right now they're in the process of getting swept by the San Juan Gaisticos. So, maybe the tables are turning, we will see. But the Flint Tropics, let's see how they started out. They started out, where are they? Down here? Oh, they must have had a bye. Okay, they had a bye because here's a wild card team, the Philadelphia Quakers, that came in here to play the team with the bye. That would have been the Tropics. So the Tropics are 3-2 so far, 5-2 if you consider this next series. 5-2 in that series, and then Atlanta United are a wild card team that have made it so far. They won their wild card series 2-1, won their division series 3-1, and they're currently getting their pants beat off 2-0 in the sub-league series, conference finals, whatever the heck you want to call them. So they're behind 2-0, and the Freeze is down 2-0. So best of luck to all the remaining teams. May the best 4 teams, like you 4, get up to silver and have a great time up in silver. All right, let's get out of here and let's go take a look at that number 7 tournament. If I don't have to spam another one. Or it wasn't 7, it was 92. I do need to spam another one before we leave. We're going to spam this guy, then we'll go back and take a look at that 92. I was thinking 7, but no, 92. Okay, this one's been running for a while. So let's see what we got. let's see what we got. Hey, okay, so we are, guess who that is? Guess who this is? If anybody knows Xtoforas, Xtoforas, this is his wife, the Breslau Butter Tarts. Xtoforas is also known as the Breslau Binturongs, okay? That's his team. The Butter Tarts, also in Breslau, which is a city in Poland, I found out. This is his wife. T. Kalikas is Mrs. Xtoforas, okay? So right now I'm leading her in this semifinal 2-1. So I'm going to be getting my first tournament packs with my new tournament cards that I added, or that is the one tournament card that I added yesterday. I'm already in packs. This will get me at least 3 if I lose out in this round to the Butter Tarts. And in fact, in my communications with Xtoforas, I refer to her as Madam Butter Tarts. Okay, I might see him in the Discord and say, "Okay, Xtoforas, I am playing Madam Butter Tarts, and I'm ahead of her 2-1 in the semifinals of this tournament." Or I might be playing his Binturongs too. I run into both teams fairly frequently. So the Breslau Butter Tarts are a worthy opponent, but I'm leading them right now 2-1, and I've got at least 3 packs staring me in the face to get me up to a minimum of 20 coming out of this tournament alone. So that having been said, I think we can back out of here and get ready to start our historical simulation back on the Flames account. So we will get out of here. If I can spell, I'd be dangerous. Okay. Let's see. Here we are. Okay, now 37 is still running, and it looks like a sim just came in. Last I looked, there are some decent results here. So let's see what's cooking. So in the meantime, how's everybody doing? Hoping that everybody's having a nice Sunday. It's been great on this end. We currently have 49 people in the channel, not including me. We have 8.5 minutes before our next sim. Okay, I'm in here with the Doha Oilers in the finals, and we are tied 1 game apiece. And they have lost 2 less games than I have so far in this tournament, so they may have an upper hand here. I've run into them before, and they are not a slouch team at all. If we look at Moalka in the universe under managers and rankings, we can get a fair approximation of how successful he is. It's Moalk. That should give me enough. And there he is. He's won 51 tournaments. Now, I've won a few more than that, but 51 is nothing to sneeze at. 51 is not a bad number at all. So I am not ashamed if I lose this next tournament final to him. But if I do happen to win it, it will make my 97th tournament win, getting me closer to my annual goal of triple digits when it comes to tournament wins. After the season ended for me in Perfect Team 22 and I came over here to 23, I had over 200 wins. So I'm hopeful to be able to see some numbers like that out of my 23 team, but it remains to be seen. But in the meantime, I've got every last one of the missions done. There were only 288 of them active, and all 288 have been accomplished on my front. So not that I'm bragging or complaining, but I kind of wish that there had been some missions come out of last Thursday's content, but no problem. We'll just wait for next week. And hopefully DishNet will have some nice goodies to plop in my lap for this coming Thursday night's TWIPT. So that's how my teams are looking, and my Wildcats picked up their 13th win, which took them practically forever to get after I added those 2 or 3 good Iron tournament cards to their team after yesterday's rip. They rewarded me with 7 tournament packs. And I'm not too sure yet if the Wildcats continue their success in best of 5s. I might end up swapping the formats, the Iron formats. I would swap Ace of Iron with the Juggernauts. See, what had happened to begin with? I had Ace of Iron running on the Wildcats, this second team here, that just picked up their 13th win after a long gap between wins. I had them running Ace of Iron, and I had the Juggernauts as the third team running Iron best of 5. The Juggernauts were doing better. Look at how many tournament wins they've gotten. They've gotten 36, so I moved them into Ace of Iron. They have since cooled off the way that the Wildcats had cooled off. So I'm thinking about swapping their formats one more time so that they would be back where they started. The Wildcats running Ace of Iron and the Juggernauts running Iron best of 5. It all remains to be seen, but in the meantime, this is how we stand, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. All right. Anybody in chat got anything to say? Nothing much. Hey, THF, good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Okay, we are going to get ourselves into an historical simulation, but it is time for us to go to another ad break. Okay, so please be ready. Ad break number 2 coming right up. Okay, gang, we have returned from the advertising lurches, and here we are back in the game, and I'm ready to start off the historical simulation that I had planned for the day. Now, what I'm hoping is that if folks that have been in here for a while and know what I've been talking about and what we have been discussing in here, does anybody have a clue who our mystery team is today? Are there any clues as to who the 1975 Reds will be playing? Any good guesses from anybody? I'll give you a moment or 2 or 3. So let's just suffice it to say that it will be an interesting matchup for more than one reason. But there is one main reason of interest in this particular series. Nobody's willing to venture a guess? Well, let's go ahead and get started, and maybe it'll become a little bit clearer once we get in there. I'm going to pick my home team first, which I know is going to be the 75 Reds. Baseball boom, and we're going to choose 75, and it's going to be the Cincinnati Reds that had a 108 and 54 record that season, okay? So they are the home team as the defending champions. Okay, now, the challenging team is going to come from the next era, defensive era, from 80 to 92. Okay, does that give you a clue where we're going next, folks? Does that give you a clue where we're going next? Okay, let's pick a year, and if this doesn't give it to you, nothing will. 1984, the Detroit Tigers. Okay, what one factor did these two teams have in common? There was one factor that these two teams had in common. Okay? Can anybody give it to me? And if you can't, I'll be sorely disappointed. Okay? Maybe we got some lurkers hanging around and just picking up their drops and ghost shipping, but that's not a problem. Here's what's going on. The 1984 Detroit Tigers. There you go, Cubs fan 23 Steve. Yep, you got him. Sparky Anderson was the manager of both these teams. Sparky is the man. He became, at that point in time, to be the only manager in Major League history to win World Series in not just the National League, where he started out with 75 and 76 World Series wins. He went over to the American League, to the Detroit Tigers, after he was kind of unceremoniously let go in Cincinnati. And I'm still ticked off about that one, even though, none of the parties are alive anymore, I don't think. But I was really, really less than pleased with the Reds organization for parting company with their best manager, in my estimation, of all time. So what does he do for revenge? He goes over to the other league and wins a World Series over there. The only manager to win World Series in both leagues. So we're going to be having Sparky Anderson's managed Detroit Tigers from 84 managing against Sparky Anderson's 1975 Cincinnati Reds. This is going to be a fun series. Let's go ahead and get started with it. We're going to go best of 7, 2, 3, and 2 on the home and away. And we're not going to have any DH. We're going to use the 84 settings, not the 75 settings. Okay? Or no. We generally take the settings of the home team. So we're going to do the 75 settings, okay, using the opening day rosters. And I think we're ready to start ourselves a little simulation here and see what we get. This one's going to be a fun one, I think. At least I'm hoping so. Okay, here we go. We are about ready to get her started. Now, okay, so I'll go ahead and hit the play ball tab, and I think we should be ready to roll here. We take a very, very quick look at the starting rotations. We have 4-man rotations in both teams. The Tigers had Roger Mason, Jack Morris. Oh my, what happened in the channel just now? Hey! Dave Amontorp, thank you so much for your Prime subscription. We appreciate that greatly. Thank you, thank you. And you know what we do for brand new subscriptions? I need to do something very, very quickly. I got to turn off the music for a moment, and we got to go and get ourselves to a good sound here.
Around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
So, thank you, Dave Amontorp. We appreciate it greatly, greatly, greatly. And the kids in the peanut gallery went. So, thank you so much for that Prime subscription. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Okay, now let's get back to the music, and it's continuing. There we are. Okay, good. let me make sure that I've got the right screens up. And yes, we are up on the right screens. We are ready to move on. Okay? We were looking at the starting lineups, and we had Roger Mason, Jack Morris, who is one hell of a good pitcher, in the number 2 slot. And we had Dan Petrie and, or maybe Petrie, I think it was Petrie though. And Milt Wilcox, another fine pitcher there, in the number 4 slot. The Reds had Pat Darcy, Don Gullett, who one of the best lefties the Reds ever had, Gary Nolan, one of the best righties the Reds ever had, and Freddie Norman. Oh man, what an arm that guy had. He saved some of his best years for his tenure with the Reds. So I was really pleased when Fred Norman was on the team. Back in 1975 was my first year out of college. I graduated in spring of 75, but by the time the World Series came around, I was just a beginning first year teacher, okay? Teaching in public school in Southeast Ohio. And I was able to pick the games up on 700 AM WLW radio out of Cincinnati, and now I've been living in Cincinnati, or in the area anyway, for the last 32 years, or going on 32 years. It will be exactly 32 years in, let's see, now we've already passed that exact 32 years because I started working at the Enquirer on my wedding anniversary, which was July 9th. So I've already been here in Cincinnati for 32 years. It took another month or so before we got the family moved down here because we had to finish out a month's lease on the apartment that we had up in Springfield, up north and east of Dayton. So I wasn't able to move the family down until August of that year, just before school started. So I was here living in an apartment by my lonesome self, sleeping on a mattress only that I was able to haul in the car with me, along with whatever luggage I needed for a week, and some sparse furnishings. But I took my radio with me, and I listened to ball games. That was in 1985, though. But in 1975, I hadn't been married yet. I didn't get married until 77. We started having kids in 1980. So I had my whole adult life practically ahead of me as I had just gotten out of college and was starting to work on my own and get myself established in this world. So, 1975 was a pretty special year to me, and I'm going to be looking forward to this matchup. Let's go and play ball. Okay, I think I want to simulate the very, very first game, and we'll think about actually playing one out when it looks like it's going to be of a little bit more consequence. Because right now, we have a little over an hour before the end of the stream, and I want to save most of that hour for actually playing a game out. So let's simulate game number 1. And the Tigers take game 1 in Riverfront Stadium away from the Reds by 3-1. Let's look at the box score. Okay, 1984 Tigers powered past the hometown Cincinnati 75 Reds in the opener of the World Series at Riverfront Stadium. And the Detroit 84 starting pitcher Dan Petrie threw 7.1 innings of 3-hit ball. Woo! To lead the charge, the Tigers now lead the series 1-0. Detroit second baseman Lou Whitaker delivered a solo home run in the top of the 8th. Overall, he went 3 for 4, picking up 1 home run, 1 single, and a double. He almost hit for the cycle, for crying out loud. Scored 3 runs and knocked in 1. A tough night at the plate, said the manager Jim Smith, who we know is really Sparky Anderson. Okay? So, let's look at the pitching line. So, Petrie pitched for 7.1 innings, and the next 5 outs went to Willie Hernandez, who got the save. Okay? So, there was a 1 earned run from the hand of Mr. Petrie and Don Gullett. All 3 of the runs he gave up in his 8 innings of work, all 3 runs were earned, And Will McEnany did 1 inning of mop-up work and wasn't able to factor much in the decision, except he did pitch a good 9th inning against Detroit. So, anyway, long way around the horn. Decent ball game, 3-1, but the Tigers have the advantage. I don't know what I think of that yet. I don't know what I think about that, because I'm still, to this day, a Sparky Anderson fan. You know, God rest his soul, he was one hell of a manager. And with this World Series win that he won in '84 with the Tigers proved just how damned good he was. Okay? And how much of a mistake that the Reds did that. Okay? Hey, thank you, Dave Amantorp. Okay? I still sound like a chipmunk. Oh, you know what? I sound like a baby. I accidentally hit my voice changer.
Now that should be better. That's more like me. I had my baby voice set on for some reason or other, and I'll bet I know why. Because in some of my button pushing, I might have held one a little bit too long, and I accidentally hit my voice changer as a leftover result. So, yeah.
Now I sound like a baby.
Now I sound like me. Now I sound like Stephen Hawking. Or no, that was the robot. This is Stephen Hawking. And then I've also got the demon that sounds like this. Okay, or no, it doesn't. That's the demon. That's Stephen Hawking. That's the robot.
That's the baby, okay?
Voice changer turned off. Voice mod is kaput. And we are ready to move on to go to the next ball game, I do believe. The Reds are behind 1-0 after the first day of action. So let's see how game 2 plays out. I finished the day, so now I get to play or simulate the next one. And let's see if the Reds can draw even with this one, okay? And we have drawn even. Beat the Tigers 3-2. Raleigh Eastwick was the winning pitcher. Willie Hernandez took the loss. Okay, so it sounds like a little bit of a late inning action there that allowed us to get the win. Let's see what the box score has to say. Okay. Bravura effort from Gary Nolan. The Reds beat the Tigers by a score of 3-2, got their first win, the 75 series. Okay, look at here. We got our winning run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Even though we got out hit 10-8, we were even up on the errors 1-1, but we ended up getting the third and final run of the game. The winning run of the game happened in the 8th inning. Joe Morgan hit a run-scoring double off of Willie Hernandez in the bottom of the 8th to put the Reds in front 3-2. So Little Joe, the object of one of our Build a Lineup Perfect cards that we have playing on the Flames, he managed to knock in the winning run in the bottom of the 8th, which could not have pleased me more. Okay, we hit the hot tub tonight in good spirits, said Gary Nolan. The next game is set to be played in 2 more days in Tiger Stadium in Detroit. So I do have a travel day coming up. So let's go back to the Play Ball tab. We will finish the day. And if I do another finish the day, because right now they're on a travel day. See, because it says here, Game 3 is tomorrow in Detroit. So if I finish today, Game 3 is now today. Boom. So we are ready to simulate this bad boy. Okay, let's see who takes a 2-1 lead in Game 3. Okay. Okay, there we are. Lifelong Twins fan. Looking forward to see how Jack Morris pitches in this series. I think you're going to get your chance. Okay? Because look at, he won Game 3. Okay? And they came back and beat the Reds by the same 3-2 margin that the Reds won Game 2 by. Okay? So Jack Morris is the winning pitcher here. Let's go ahead and check out the box score and see Wall Hoppen wins. Okay, it looks like the Tigers got their scoring out of the way early. They got 2 in the bottom of the second. The Reds came back with 1 in the next half inning, top of the third. And then the Tigers went up 3-1 by adding a run in the bottom of the 7th. And the Reds could only muster 1 more run after that in the top of the ninth, and that's the final score of the game, 3-2. So we could not quite make it through to get the tying run across the plate. And we managed to win despite the Tigers giving up 2 errors. Seems like the RNG is really kicking the errors out in some of these series. Remember here a few simulated series ago, the 1927 Yankees, I think it was when they were playing, I forget who it was they were playing, but they committed over the course of 6 games. They won the series 4-2. The 1927 Yankees won the World Series 4-2. But in the course of those 6 games, they committed 17 errors, an average of almost 3 errors per game. Okay? The defense was absolutely putrid, but they won the series anyway. It was just a most amazing set of errors I'd ever seen in my life, I think. But anyway, that's the way the RNG cookie crumbles. So let's see the pitching line down here. There's Jack Morris. 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run. He walked a couple, struck out 5, threw 115 pitches and a 1.29 ERA in this postseason. So there he is. Willer Hernandez has figured in all 3 decisions. He was the late in the game pitcher in all 3 games. He took a loss in the last one, but got saves in games 1 and 3. Over here, Will McEnany figured in the late action also in games 1 and 3, I believe, or 2 and 3. But Pat Darcy took the loss. He gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings of work, and McEnany gave up the other earned run late, which turned out to be the winning run for Detroit because Cincinnati came back later off of where was it? No, excuse me. There was a run scored off of Hernandez, but it was not an earned run because of one of those errors that they committed. So the Reds' run that they got in the top of the ninth was an unearned one. So it really wasn't enough to figure into the decision because they could not get the tying run across, so they ended up losing 3-2. Jack Morris, there you go, Jim Amantorp. He was the player of the game, so that should please you pretty well, I would trust, okay? Nice results, okay? So we are ready to simulate another game. So it's right now Detroit 2, Reds 1. Let's try out finishing the day. And now we got to simulate game 4, okay? We're simulating game 4, and it will be, oh my. The Tigers are starting to run away with this, okay? They're ahead 3-1. My 75 Reds are really taking it not so well. Freddie Norman took the loss. Ooh, ouch. And Roger Mason got the win, 7-3. Let's look at the box score real quick, and we'll play the next game because it looks like Detroit might actually take it. Okay? So, what have we got here? All right, so Lance Parrish had 2 hits. And game 4 of the series today. Parrish was 2 for 4 with a home run. Okay, drove in 3 runs. Okay, good catching effort. He outdid the bench in that series, I guess, or in that game, I should say. Scored once for the Tiger, who now lead the best-of-7 series 3-1. So in the bottom of the 5th, Detroit pinch hitter Rusty Koontz had a productive at-bat with runners on first and second and 2 outs. He stroked a run-scoring single to center. It made the score 4-3. Okay, and for the game, he went 1 for 1. And Lance Parrish called the win the result of everyone being in sync. The next game is set to be played tomorrow in Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Okay, so we know how it's looking. Reds are looking not so hot at present. What's JB been doing? He's only batting on the interstate this World Series with 1 ribby, and he's batting cleanup. That giant sucking sound you hear is Johnny Bench at the plate. Oof. Not necessarily behind it, but at the plate. George Foster looked a little bit better. He's batting 250 so far in the series. Ken Griffey Senior. Oh, and speaking of Ken Griffey Senior, wasn't that cool as hell? Where he and Junior Griffey came out of the corn first and had a catch in the Field of Dreams game. That was an epic beginning to that ball game. I loved every little bit of it. In fact, it choked me up a little bit. But Junior Griffey and his daddy playing catch in center field, coming out of the corn. It was so cool, so cool. They could not have had a much better beginning to that. Okay, let us move on to Game 5, and we will try to play this puppy out. Okay, we're going to finish the day, and we're going to go ahead and play Game 5. Don Gullett is on the mound after he lost Game 1. The Day 1 pitchers are now in effect. Petrie, or I think it's Petrie for the Tigers, and Gullett for the Reds. And we are going to play it. We're going to turn the artificial intelligence on all the way here. And I think it's already set. Yes, it is. They're both managed by Jim Smith. I think it was Halloween or something, because we know that both of those managers are actually Sparky Anderson. So let's go ahead and start the game, and we can get moving with this. All right, here we go. I hear the crowd roar. Went away for a second, but I think it will return once some more setup ensues. There we go. The crowd roar has returned, and we are in Tiger Stadium with the 1975 Reds up at the plate against the 84 Tigers with Dan Petrie on the mound. Davey Concepcion is the leadoff hitter, and let's go ahead and get her moving. So with a 1-2 count, Concepcion gets to do this. Okay. And he hits it to the opposite number at shortstop, and he throws him out at first. So one down on the fourth pitch of the game. Now let's go ahead and move on. We got Peter Edward Rose, graduate of Cincinnati Western Hills High School. It's out Glenway Avenue from downtown Cincinnati, and a really nice vintage classic high school still being used here in Cincinnati. Even though they've built a lot of new buildings all over the city, this one is one that they have kept. I think they've added on to it, done some modernizations, but it's still basically the same building that it was when Pete went to school there, with a few modernizations and modifications. Okay, so Pete Rose is now up, and here we go with a 3-ball count. He drew a 1-out walk, and he crossed to first base, and he got that walk on 4 pitches. Okay, so up at the plate now, Little Joe Morgan. So we're hoping to see something productive here from Little Joe. And with a 2-2 count,
strike 3.
Ooh! Struck him out, and I can hear the folks over at Mortal Kombat. They're busy.
Denied.
Poor Joe. Poor Joe. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep on going here. Now we got JB up at the plate, but he's been hitting like an icicle. He's not swinging a bat, he's swinging a solid hunk of ice. So let's see what he does on a 2-1 pitch. And he hits it to third base. It gets thrown over to first, and he is out. Mr. Brookins picked up the ball, threw JB out at first. So after half an inning, we have the Reds nothing and the 84 Tigers coming up to bat. Take a quick look at chat. Ha ha ha! Oh no, Dave Amantorp. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there, Cubs fan. 23 Steve. That Griffey bit was fantastic, wasn't it? Okay, then Drew Rasmussen of the Rays coming out of and coming out for the ninth and tried to get a perfect game and immediately gave up a double. Oh, that's a sad way to lose it. What a sad way to lose it. Sorry to hear that. That's the nerves getting to him, I guess, but then might also be a father time within the game catching up to him. Okay, look who's up to the plate there. Los Angeles Dodgers hero in the future years, Kirk Gibson, batting for the Tigers, leadoff, and up against Don Gullett, the Reds' lefty ace. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. So Kirk Gibson on a 1-1 count. Going to get the ball thrown at him here, and what's he do? Caught up against the wall on the warning track. Cesar Geronimo pulled it in with his back to the plate. Ooh, nice catch for Cesar, for the Chief. We are ready for Lou Whitaker now to come up to the plate. Lefty on lefty action here, Gullett versus Whitaker. So here we go. And Whitaker hits it out to left field, a little lofty fly ball. George Foster reels it in, and we now have 2 outs. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our next batter up there, which should be Alan Trammell. And now with a on the first pitch that he sees, and he lines out to Ken Griffey in right field. So 3 up, 3 down for the 1984 Tigers, and after 1 complete, it's 0-0. Okay, top of the second coming up. The Reds are sending up George Foster, whose hand I did get a chance to shake at spring training out in Goodyear, Arizona, back in spring training of 2019, before the pandemic hit. The wife and I, we crossed off a bucket list item, and we made a trip out there for spring training, and he was present at one of the games selling a series of memorabilia that were supposed to benefit retired baseball players who had not been able to achieve a pension. And we're ready for our next ad break. So before George Foster comes up to bat, let's go ahead and have our next ad. Here, let's take a break. Okay, we are now back to the action in the top of the second inning. George Foster, whom I was getting ready to tell you, I did get to shake his hand. And now this was, granted, 3 years ago, and he's 3 years older now than he was then. But back then when I got the pleasure of shaking his hand, that man could still bring it. His grip was amongst the very strongest I've ever felt in all my years. And I'm in the process of working on my 70th trip around the sun. And I've shook quite a few hands in my day, but his was one of the very strongest ones that I had the pleasure to shake. So, George Foster up at the plate, and we got right-handed pitcher Dan Petrie up at the plate, or on the mound, I should say. Foster's at the plate, and now with a 1-ball count, he hits it to shortstop, and Trammell throws him out at first. So 1 down after 1 pitch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Next batter up is going to be Ken Griffey Senior. And with a 1-2 count, Oh, that looks like the Reds' first hit, and it looks like a gap shot. Okay, a nice gapper from Griffey Senior. And that's where he ends up, is at second base. So he is on with a 1-out double. So not too shabby there. We are ready. And Tony Perez, the doggy, is up at the plate. Atanasio Perez Regal is his, the largest part of his name. He has actually another name or two thrown in there. But I can remember the Atanasio Perez Regal as my favorite part. My favorite saying of Tony Perez, they ask him how he hits so well. He says, see the ball, hit the ball. See the ball, hit the ball. I love it. I love the guy, and I hated it like all hell when the Reds traded him after the 75 season. It was the beginning of the end of the Big Red Machine. I was, my one nephew now, who is, he's in his 50s, but he was just a little guy back then, and he cried crocodile tears. Tony Perez was his favorite Red, and he hated it like all hell when Perez was no longer on the Reds. He was just absolutely brokenhearted. I could not console that kid. I could not console that kid at all. We were both, and still are, both pretty good baseball fans. Okay, so Griffey is on second base, and Doggy Perez is up at the plate. And here we go with on the first pitch that he sees, he smacks it. Okay, he gets it out to right center field. Got a single out of it. I did not see where the ball landed, whether it landed up short of the right fielder or not. So we got men on first and third now with only 1 out. And I do believe, yes we do, the Chief, Cesar Geronimo, coming up to bat. Men on first and third with 1 out. And what's Geronimo going to do with a 1-strike count? He hits it. Oh, he doesn't hit it very far. And it was an infield fly. No good. He didn't get the ball far enough. So now I do believe we got Gullett up to bat. 2 outs. I'm not expecting too much good to happen here. Let's see. Because Gullett's average, he has 1 hit already in this series. He went 1 for 1 in his 1 plate appearance that he had earlier. So let's see if he can duplicate that feat right here. With 2-1 count, and he flies it to center field, and the center fielder catches it. So Mr. Lemon pulls it in, and with 3 outs now, the Reds got 2 runners on board, first and third, with only 1 out, but could not convert. So after 1.5 innings, it is still 0-0. But the Reds have the first 2 hits of the game. Okay. Let's move on to the second inning, and they are bringing up Chet Lemon, the fellow who caught that last fly ball out in center field. He's up at the plate first. Righty against lefty. Gullett's the lefty, Chet Lemon's the righty. So let's move on. On the first pitch he sees, looks like a lazy fly ball, or maybe it's been poked. That ball got poked. That ball got poked. It is out of here. 390 feet, and the 84 Tigers take an early 1-0 lead on this leadoff home run from Chet Lemon. Ooh, doggies, okay? So they made their first hit of the game count for something. Reds got 2 hits and couldn't get anything across. So let's go. Johnny Grubb is up at the plate against Don Gullett, and with a 1-strike count, Mr. Grubb hits it to left, and Foster pulls it in. Okay, so not a case of the ball getting out of here, but Gullett's given up some fairly deep fly balls to left field here. 1 out now in the bottom of the second, and we have Lance Parrish, the catcher, coming up to the plate, and with a full count, check swing, and he drew a 1-out walk. So he's on first, all by himself. Okay. Now next man up should be, no, it's Daryl Evans. Okay, he's the first baseman, batting 7th. Okay, we still have Brookins to go before we get to the pitcher slot. Okay, so Daryl Evans is up at the plate. Lefty on lefty action here. And with a full count, what happens here? Lazy fly ball to right field, and Griffey Senior pulls it in, and we now have 2 outs. Okay? Still Lance Parrish at first base with the 1-out walk, now with 2 outs. And we have Tom Brookins, the third baseman, coming up to bat. With a 1-strike count on him, the ball got away, but not far enough for anybody to advance, okay? So we have another pitch coming up, now with 2 strikes on Brookins. The 2-strike count. Is it going to fall? It fell for a hit. So with 2 outs, Tom Brookins gets a single, and at second base is Lance Parrish, but look who's coming up next. The pitcher, Dan Petrie, who is 0 for 2 in his 2 plate appearances that he's had so far. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. Pitcher against pitcher. Gullett against Petrie, and with a full count, he struck him out.
Denied.
Absolute killer pitch there from Mr. Gullett. So after 2 complete, the 84 Tigers have taken a 1-0 lead over the 1975 Reds. Okay, Luke 1111, you're up 3-2 now in the LCS. Good luck, buddy. Good luck, buddy. I hope you make it to the World Series. Hope you do. Keep us informed here, please. I'd appreciate it greatly if you could. Okay, we are in the top of the third, and our leadoff batter, Davy Concepcion, is up. Venezuelan native. Shortstop. Righty on righty action. So, what's Mr. Concepcion going to do with a 1-2 pitch? Hits it to his opposite number again. Trammell throws him out. That's 2 up for Concepcion. 2 hits straight to Trammell, who promptly throws him out. So, he must think there must be a magnet or something in that ball, so that it automatically goes to his opposite number. So, anyway, let's move on to the next batter, which should be Pete Rose. Okay. Lefty on righty. Lefty batter, righty pitcher. Let's go on here with a 1-2 count.
Strike 3.
Ooh, struck him out.
Denied.
Poor Pete. Okay, so he got himself a big fat K. Okay, so 2 outs now, nobody on base, and the next man up should be Little Joe Morgan. And here's Little Joe up at the plate against Petrie, and with a full count, he hits it to first base and he takes it to the bag unassisted. So the Reds are down in order in the top of the third, and the Tigers are still ahead, looking to win this World Series and leading it 1-0 in Game 5, leading the entire series 3-1. Okay, bottom of the third coming up. Okay. Alrighty, so Kirk Gibson, leadoff batter, is up against Gullett, and with a 1-2 count, struck him out swinging. Okay. I said it. I hit it.
Denied.
There it goes. Okay, I punched it, but it didn't happen, so I had to go hit it again. So, Kirk Gibson struck out swinging, I should say, and we are ready for Lou Whitaker. Lou Whitaker is up, lefty on lefty. So, with a 3-ball count, he draws the 1-out walk on 4 pitches. Okay, so Whitaker's on first, 1 down, and here comes Alan Trammell, dangerous hitter, batting .389 in this series so far. So he's holding his own, or pulling his own weight here with a .389 batting average. 2 RBIs and 7 hits and 18 at-bats. So really decent series Mr. Trammell is having. Maybe vying for MVP honors. Okay. So on the first pitch he sees, is it a double play ball? That's a double play ball. A little 6-4-3, and we are out of the inning. So after 3 complete, it's going to be the 84 Reds or I'm sorry, the 75 Reds behind the 84 Tigers, 1-0. So here we are, top of the 4th inning. JB up at the plate, and he's still swinging an icicle bat. Look at, he's batting only 125. That's 1 for 8, 2 hits and 16 at bats. Yeesh, he's stinking up the joint. Okay, maybe I needed the 76 version of him in here, where he was the World Series MVP when they swept the Yankees in 76. But this is the 75 Johnny Bench. So we have to be content with what the game gives us. Okay, so he is up at the plate, and with a 3-1 count, he hits it to third base, and Brookins throws him out at first. Okay, I don't know if you saw Johnny Bench coming out of the corn in the Field of Dreams game. I think the Reds' only 3 veterans that I saw that were not current players were the 2 Griffeys and JB. And if you saw him come out of the corn, you can see he's got a little hitch in his giddy-up. I think his knees are pretty much done for. But he still managed to catch the opening pitch of the game from Fergie Jenkins, which was, I thought, a cool moment. I was glad to see that one happen. Fergie Jenkins is one of my favorite ex-Cubs, and JB, of course, one of my favorite ex-Reds. So, anyway, we're 1 down now in the top of the 4th, I should say. I'm sorry. And we are ready to move on to the next hitter, which should be George Foster. And he flies out lazily to right field, and with 2 outs, he did that on a 1-2 pitch. So we are ready to come to the next batter, which should be Cesar Geronimo. No, Ken Griffey Senior. I forgot. Okay, Ken Griffey Senior. Then we got Doggy Perez, then Geronimo. Okay. If I look at the right part of the screen, which is partially obscured from my vision by my microphone here, if I can learn to look past the mic in the right direction, I can pick up who's up the bat. Okay, so with 2 outs now, we have Ken Griffey Senior up, and what's he going to do on a 3-1 pitch? He's going to pop out to second base, and that, as they say, is that. Again, 1-2-3 for the Reds. So after 3.5, it's still 1-0 Tigers. Bottom of the 4th coming up, and the Tigers are sending up Chet Lemon, who is responsible for the one and only Tiger run that he hit in the bottom of the 2nd. He got a solo shot to put them on the board first. So he is now up at the plate against lefty Don Gullett. So with a 2-strike count, is Gullett getting back? Let's see.
Strike 3.
Oh, yes, he got him looking. He got him looking. So a little bit of revenge from Don Gullett for that bomb that Chet Lemon hit out of here to left field. Okay, 1 out now, and we have Johnny Grubb coming up to the plate with 1 out and a 1-2 count. What's he do? That's going to fall in front of Griffey Senior. So with 1 out, Johnny Grubb hits a single, and he's on first base. 1 down with the 3rd Detroit hit. Okay. Next batter up is going to be Lance Parrish, the catcher. Righty on lefty action here. So let's see what Mr. Gullett's able to do with Lance Parrish. With 2-ball count. Another double play for the Reds, and they get out of another inning. That's 2 double plays on the day for the 1975 Reds. Help to save their bacon and keep the score as close as it is. So after 4 innings complete, it is still Tigers 1, Reds nothing. Okay, top of the 5th coming up. So it's still Dan Petrie, and here's Doggy Perez, Tony Perez, on a 1-2 count, struck out. Ooh, baby.
Denied.
So he is out of there. With 1 down now, here comes Cesar Geronimo up. And with a 1-2 pitch, he took that one looking. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So 2 strikeouts for Petrie. Is he going to make a 3 for 3? Because look who's up next, but Mr. Don Gullett, the pitcher. This could easily be a strike out the side scenario if Gullett is not able to make some good contact with the ball here. So on a 2-2 count.
Strike 3.
Yep. Petrie struck out the side. Absolutely struck out the side. And we will see how many Ks he has when the bubbles all come back. But at the end of 4.5 innings, we are in the middle of the 5th, and it's still 1-0 Tigers. Now let me look and see what we have here. So right now, Don Gullett has 3 strikeouts, and what does Petrie have? I won't be able to see Petrie's strikeout total until the next inning, I think. Let me look. Yeah, I won't be able to see Petrie's total Ks until he pitches next. So Don Gullett is up now against the first baseman, Daryl Evans. And with a full count, Evans hits the ball to third base. Pete Rose throws him out. So we have 1 down now in the bottom of the 5th. And coming up to the plate will be Tom Brookins, the number 8 hitter, the third baseman. And here he goes with a full count. And it looks like a lazy fly ball to center field. Or no, it only made it to the shortstop. It didn't get out of the infield. Okay, so Concepcion gloved that one. The ball was a lazy little pop fly, but I misread how far it was going, and Concepcion caught it behind second base. So, 2 outs now. And we have Dan Petrie, the pitcher, up. Pitcher against pitcher. And let's go on and see what goes. With a 1-2 count.
Strike 3.
Struck him out swinging.
Denied.
Okay, so at the end of 5 complete. Low scoring affair. 5 complete. Reds are 0 and the Tigers are 1. 3 hits for Detroit, 2 hits for my Reds. Okay. Top of the 6th coming up, and here we got the leadoff batter, Davey Concepcion. Is he going to make it 3 for 3 today, hitting the ball to Alan Trammell? Let's see what goes. Okay, Concepcion is now up, and on the first pitch he sees, he did not hit it to Trammell, but he hit it instead to Chet Lemon in center field. Okay, on a line drive. Okay, nice little liner there. He hit it kind of on the screws, but right at Chet Lemon. Okay, with 1 down now, here comes Pete Rose. Pete Rose up at the plate, and rain is beginning to fall. So the game tells us, okay. And we are ready to go on for Pete's at bat. So with a 2-1 count, whoops, popped it in foul territory to Brookins, and he catches it for the 2nd out. Little fly or little pop foul, and that is Pete Rose for the 6th inning so far. We have 1 more out to go. I hope the Joe Morgan doesn't provide it, but we will see. Righty on lefty action here. So Joe Morgan, Little Joe, do your thing with a 1-ball count. He hits it. It looks like out to the outfield, and the center fielder, Chet Lemon, pulls it in. So after 5.5 innings, it's still 1-0 Tigers. We're only about 5 or 6 minutes away from our next ad break. Okay? Alrighty, so we are up now in the bottom of the 6th, and Kirk Gibson is up at the plate. So let's see what he does. On the first pitch he sees, looks like it's going to fall for a hit, and it does. Geronimo snags it, throws it back to the infield, and they hold Kirk Gibson to a leadoff single. Okay? He has the leadoff single. Let me look at chat real quick. Luke, nothing new on your LCS. Okay? Good luck, buddy. All right, so we now have Lou Whitaker up at the plate on a 2-1 count. What do you get? Okay, second base is occupied now by Kirk Gibson. he got the ball. I think it was the fact that Concepcion got the ball too late to actually do anything with it at second base, but he was able to do something at first. So it was kind of like a sack grounder. That was just a lazy little nubber. Didn't get to Concepcion in time for him to be able to do anything with it at second base. So, one down now, and Kirk Gibson at second base. And now we got Alan Trammell. Let's see if he can do anything of note. On a full count, he takes a 1-out walk. So we got men on first and second now with 1 out. Detroit is threatening to make some noise here in the bottom of the 6th. Okay. And next we have up Chet Lemon, the center fielder. Let's see what he can do. All he did was supply their one and only run that they got. And he gets a single. Let's see, are they going to bring him around?
Straight.
He has scored. So Chet Lemon has driven in both runs of this ball game. He has driven in 2 runs today, all of them belonging to Detroit. And they now have a 2-0 lead, still with only 1 out. Men on first and second. Oh boy, not looking too good for my Reds. Looks like the Tigers may be bringing this one home. Okay, now we got Johnny Grubb, the number 5 slot hitter, and he, on a 3-1 count, draws a walk to load the bases, ducks all over the pond with still only 1 out. Okay, so we now have Lance Parrish, the catcher, up, who's batting a very robust .294 so far in this series. He has 1 home run with 4 RBIs so far in this particular World Series. So he's looking to make a whole lot of noise here with only 1 out, and the bases are loaded with Tigers. And on a full count, he hits it to deep center, and I think the 3rd run is going to score on a tag up, and Trammell does score. So the first run knocked in by somebody other than Chet Lemon. So Trammell scores on Lance Parrish's fly ball to center. Now we have 2 outs, man at first and second, and the Tigers are now ahead 3-0. So with 2 outs, Daryl Evans, the first baseman, at the plate. First and second base with 2 outs. And on the first pitch he sees, Daryl Evans hits it lazily to Foster in left, and he pulls it in. So we have us 3 outs. After 6 complete, the Tigers did some more damage. They pulled a couple of runs home, and they lead the 75 Reds now 3-0 in what could be a deciding Game 5 of this simulated World Series. Okay, now we have us only a couple minutes left before our next and final ad break. So let's get an at-bat or 2 out of the way here. Johnny Bench now up. He is batter number 4 in the Reds order. He is the cleanup hitter, but he doesn't have anybody on base to knock in if he happens to get hold of one. So let's see how he does on a 1-1 count. Okay, did he... Oh, wow, nice diving catch from Chet Lemon in center field. What a play. Put a star by that one in your scorebook. What a play. Nice defensive effort there from Chet Lemon to take a hit away from JB. So 1 down now, and here's George Foster up to bat, and now with a full count, he got a little lazy single, a little blooper into center field there, just out of the reach of the second baseman. So George Foster now on first base with 1 out, and coming up to the plate should be, Ken Griffey Senior. So 1 out, and now on the first pitch he sees, it's raining. The rain has stopped. They had a 40-minute rain delay. Okay, so here's Ken Griffey still up at the plate, and Petrie is still pitching. Okay, so now with a 2-2 count, looks like Griffey's going to get him the single of his own, and Foster rounded second and started to head to third, but decided otherwise and came back to second base. So, with that having been said, we have Ken Griffey Senior on first, George Foster on second, still only one man out, and Atanasio Perez Regal, Tony Perez, the big doggy, is up at the plate. One of the best RBI men in Reds history. So let's see what Tony can do for us. Okay, with a 1-2 count. Ooh.
Denied.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. He took that strike. Swing and a miss. Poor Tony. Okay, so he had a chance to make some noise. Now we have coming up to the plate the Chief, Cesar Geronimo, center fielder. He's hoping to make some noise like his opposite number in center field has. Chet Lemon has 2 of the 3 runs driven in for Detroit. So Cesar is hoping to get maybe the Reds' first run driven in with a good at-bat here. So with a 2-2 count,
Strike 3.
he takes strike 3. Nothing going. So after 6.5 innings, it's still 84 Tigers, 3, 75 Reds, nothing. Let's go ahead and take our last ad break of the day. Okay, gang, we are back and ready to finish up this ball game. We have about 18, 19 minutes left in the hour before we are done streaming for the day. So we might be jumping ahead a little bit if things move slowly. So let's go ahead and get moving without further ado. Tom Brookins is up at the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning against Don Gullett, still pitching for the Reds. I've got the artificial intelligence still in charge, so they will decide if and when to pull any players and any pitchers. Okay, so with a full count, grounded to Concepcion, and he throws out Mr. Brookins. Okay, so with 1 out, we are ready to move on. Dan Petrie, the pitcher, is up, and with a 1-1 count, he hits it right straight to Perez, who takes it to the bag, and we now have 2 out. Okay. Moving rather rapidly here. Okay, now with a 1-2 count, here is Kirk Gibson up. Looks like oh yeah, that little blooper got in there for a single. What Joe Nuxhall might have called a bingle, bingle, B-I-N-G-L-E, okay? Little bloop single, that was his word. I guess it was an MLB term, may still be an MLB term, for a bloop single to call it a bingle, okay? Not to be confused with a bangle, which is what we have here for a football team in Cincinnati. Okay, next man up should be Lou Whitaker. And with 1 out and Kirk Gibson at first with a single, let's see what Mr. Whitaker can do for himself and his team with a 1-1 count. Oh, double play ball. Oh no! Concepcion booted it. Concepcion booted it. And everybody is safe. Everybody is safe. That doesn't happen very often, but Davey flubbed it. So there's the first error of the game. And now we have men at first and second still with 2 outs. And we now have Alan Trammell up at the plate. Okay? And on a 1-2 count, little blooper to Concepcion at short, So he pulls it in right next to the pitcher's mound, and we are in the top of the 8th with 7 complete, and the Tigers are still ahead 3-zip. Okay? Top of the 8th coming up. Dan Dreesen is coming up to bat. And just hit a little nubber out in front of the plate, and Parrish gets up and throws out Dreesen at first base. Okay? So Dreesen was pinch hitting for Gullett. So now we have Davy Concepcion coming up to the plate to bat for himself, and with 1 out in the top of the 8th. So what do we see? On the first pitch he sees, he hits it. Daryl Evans took the play unassisted at first. I did not get to see the ball. I didn't see the little white dot on the field to see where it went. But the text up here told me everything I needed to know. So Daryl Evans picked up the grounder and carried it to first. The Tigers only have 4 more outs to get off the Reds, and they will take themselves a World Series. Okay, with 2 outs now, top of the 8th, Pete Rose is up at the plate, and with a 1-2 count, Petrie hits it, and Petrie throws it, and Rose hits it straight to Chet Lemon in center field. He's been putting on a pretty good defensive show for the Tigers, and they're coming up for what they hope will be the final time today, leading this game 3-0 going into their half of the 8th inning. Okay, so we have us Chet Lemon, who made that last catch there off the bat of Pete Rose. He's up to the plate against Jack Billingham, who comes in for the Reds in a relief role. Jack Billingham, this is looks like his first appearance in this World Series. He has nothing as far as a pitching line prior to this. So Jack Billingham is seeing his first action in this series right now as we speak. So Chet Lemon with a full count, righty on righty. And he draws a leadoff walk on the full count. So 1 man on first, nobody out. And here comes Johnny Grubb in the number 5 hole. Man on first, with a 1-1 pitch. Oh, wait, he's trying to steal. He's going to make it. Chet Lemon got in there with a stolen base. Okay, so we have us a man on second base now. They're trying to get themselves an insurance run to help widen the gap and make sure that the Reds have 0 or next to 0 chance to come back and make some noise in this ball game. So they're sitting on second base with nobody out. Here's Johnny Grubb up the plate with a 2-2 count. And he gets a single. Are they going to try to score on this? Chet Lemon looks like he stopped at third. Okay. Chet Lemon stopped at third, and we're at first and third with nobody out. Ooh, baby. Okay. First and third base, nobody out. Detroit's looking pretty good to win this series. Okay, so on the first pitch that he sees, this is going to be deep enough to drive a run in. Okay? And there is the 4th run of the game for Detroit. They are now ahead 4-0 on the sac fly off the bat of Lance Parrish. Okay? Daryl Evans now up at the plate. And we have a man on first with only 1 out. They're trying to get some more insurance runs. And with on the first pitch that he sees, okay, they did get the out at second. Oh, they got it at first and then at second. I see. That's their 3rd double play of the day. But it isn't doing them any good because they're losing 4-0. Okay, Reds' last gasp coming up. The last chance for my Reds. And it looks like okay, hang on a second. I missed the start of this. So the ball went over to Trammell. He picked it up and threw out the man at first. Okay, that was Little Joe Morgan. Okay, let's keep on going. We're up to batter number 4. That should be JB, I do believe. Yeah, JB's up at the plate. Petrie trying to complete do a complete game shutout here. And so far, he is pretty successful. He's thrown a 4-hitter so far, and he's been lights out for the Tigers. Okay, so JB is now up, and with a 1-strike count, he hits it to Trammell. The Reds are now down to their final out of not only the game, but also the series. Okay, and it looks like George Foster is up with a 1-1 count. Hits it to second base. Oh, he booted it, but because of the error at second base, Lou Whitaker let the ball play him, so he's charged with the error, and George Foster is just allowing the Reds to hang on by the slimmest of threads right now. A man on first, 2 outs, and let's see what we can get out of the bat of Kent Griffey Senior. Foster on first, 2 men out, and let's see, with a 2-2 count. Hey, it looks like Griffey's going to have one drop down there for a single. Man on first and second now with 2 outs. Ooh, the Reds might actually make a little noise here if they keep this up. Okay, next up is going to be Tony Perez, who's been having a rough go of it today. He's only batting 176 in this World Series, so between him and Mr. Bench, neither one is doing so well. So here we go, 2 outs on a full count. He hits it, lazy fly ball to center field, and that does it. The 1984 Detroit Tigers have overtaken my 1975 Cincinnati Reds, and they will be the defending champions the next time we do an historical exhibition. So congrats to the 84 Tigers and all you Tiger fans in chat. I was pleased to be able to bring you this simulation, and hopefully you had as much fun as I did. I hope. Let's see, now how did we do there? Okay, can I see during a game if my fielder gets a 5-star play? It might say it in the text. Okay, Bert Blyleven would call that a duck fart. What I called a bingle. Okay, yeah, because the first time I ever heard that term bingle there was off the tongue of the guy who I'm trying my best to emulate in Mr. Joe Nuxhall, who played second fiddle to Marty Brenneman's Hall of Fame act in the radio booth for the Reds for many, many years. And he would call that sort of a hit a bingle, like a bloop single. But Bert Blyleven would call that a duck fart. Well, anyway, thanks a lot, folks. We are ready to just about bring this one to a close. Let me get into the game. We'll leave the game. We'll finish the day and see who the MVP. The MVP was the pitcher, Dan Petrie. He won 2 ball games. The first game, let's see, the second game was a 4-hit shutout. This one up here, he only allowed 1 run, I believe. Let's look at the box score and we can figure this out. So over 16.1 innings. Over 16.1 innings, he only gave up 7 hits, 1 earned run. So that's how and why he earned the MVP trophy for this series. So GG's to the 84 Tigers. My Reds will go ahead and go on home and have their tail between their legs and maybe hope to come back another day against another team, but we will have to wait and see on that front. So we will finish the day and finish the series and get out of here. Okay. All right, hey, the final that I was in got me 5 packs. So my first tournament packs of the day are in. So I've got 5 packs to go along with 5 Twitch drops. So I'm up to 10 packs now on the day. I still have a tournament running. So let me go ahead and spam another Ace of Iron before I say sayonara to you good folks. So I've got a perfect point giveaway to do today. I forgot about that. Let's get to that. Let's get to that. Chances are pretty good of somebody in chat winning the giveaway today because we don't have very many people here today. But I do have 25,000 perfect points to give away to some lucky winner. Let's get ready to move on to that front. Okay, hold on just a second, please. Need to get to my screen where I can do my giveaway. Here's my giveaway screen. So it's also my talking screen. So I'm getting ready to do a 25,000 perfect point giveaway. And I'm going to copy some things from a previous giveaway. The last giveaway winner was Crocden, Crocden. We were glad to give him 25,000 perfect points. And I finally did make touch with the Chino 1976, who sadly spent some time in the ER and was hospitalized. And he accidentally gave me his username for Perfect Team 22 instead of the one for Perfect Team 23. And he gladly gave up his 25K award. He never bothered to come back to me with his Perfect Team 23 name, so it could be such a thing that he's not even playing 23. But he's watching my stream, so he had a chance to win. So anyway, let's get ready to get this one started. And here's the way it's going to work. I'm going to open up the giveaway, and you need to do one of two things, not both, only one. Use exclamation point enter or exclamation point ticket. Don't use them both. And even though the chat thing from Stream Elements will say put a number after the word ticket or enter, don't do it, because I wish I could edit that text in Stream Elements, but I have no way of touching it. It's their baby and I cannot get to it. So only the word enter or the word ticket after the exclamation point. No number. And you can only do it once, because if you inadvertently do it a second time, it will kick you out of the giveaway. Okay? We have in the channel right now, we only have 50 people in here. So there's a fairly decent chance of somebody in here right now winning on the giveaway. And I haven't started it yet, so please be ready. It's not ready yet, Dave Amantorp, okay? It's not ready yet. I have not started the giveaway. It's going to start, and you'll see it in chat. You'll see it start, and you'll be able to start doing your exclamation point enter or exclamation point ticket. Either one will work, but don't put a number after it, and only do one command, okay? One command, and that's all you're allowed, because otherwise the game will kick you out. Okay, here we go. Let's get it going. The giveaway has started. Okay. Oh, I forgot to copy my text in. My bad. I forgot to copy my text in to tell you that it was a perfect point giveaway. Okay. Just know in advance that it's for 25,000 perfect points that the game has very graciously granted unto moi to give to you folks. Once a week giveaway. And we only have 4 tickets in there so far. 20 seconds have passed by and only 4 people have entered. Those are pretty good odds, I'd say. Nursha Bainko, Dave Amantorp. Okay, there's Sour D just got in there. Evil Smoky Bear and Waddy. You 5 are the only 5 right now. We have about a minute and a half left before we close the giveaway. Okay. Only 5 tickets entered. Hoping to get more. Exclamation point ticket or exclamation point enter. Don't do both of them or it kicks you out. One minute to go. And only 5 people entering the the giveaway. It sounds like we had some folks that were ghost shipping and picking up their drops without having to be here, which means they were doing it by using the Chrome extension that automatically picks up Twitch drops for you. And if you've not seen that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay? Hang on a second. Okay, here it goes. That link right there will take you to a Google Chrome extension that once you install it in Google Chrome and you go and get to your drops, your drop providing streams inside of Twitch, it will automatically pick up your drops for you. And not only your drops, it will also pick up Twitch channel points on your behalf automatically. It's a great little extension. If you don't have it already, I highly recommend it. Okay? We still only have 5 tickets in there and about 30 seconds left to go. And I'm showing time has elapsed. So let's go ahead and close it. And we are going to draw a winner. We only have 5 tickets in here, guys. It's going to be one of you 5. It's going to be Sour D or Evil Smoky Bear, Waddy Waddy Waddy, Nursha Baenko, or Dave Amantorp. It's going to be one of you 5. So let's see who our winner is going to be. Should be easy. Here we go. And it's Dave Amantorp. Congratulations, buddy. You have just won 25,000 perfect points courtesy of Out of the Park Baseball, and congratulations to you. Okay. Oh, JVM Junior dot failed because he came in too late. He came in too late. So, Dave Amantorp, here's what I need to do. I'm going to whisper you in Twitch. I'm going to do that right now. And I will need for you to put in your OOTP username that you want, the OOTP account that you want to have the 25,000 perfect points attributed to. And the correct capitalization is requested. It is strongly requested, okay? Now, okay, I mentioned your last name right every time? Dave Amantorp? Ah, I kind of figured. I never knew anybody last name of Amantorp, but I kind of guessed it because I've known some other names that were somewhat similar, and I tried to use about the same pronunciation or mispronunciation with those as I did with yours. So I'm glad that I was able to get it right for you. Okay, so I'm going to whisper you, and I'm going to ask you for the correct. Let me see here. Bear with me here. I had it, and then I lost it. Okay. Okay. We are going to whisper you. Okay. Whisper. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. So you should see up in the upper right-hand corner of your Twitch screen, to the left of my little circle picture up there, you'll see 3 little icons. You'll see a crown, you'll see an envelope, and then you'll see a little bubble. And that bubble is whispers. That's where your whispers are going to be. So it's going to be Dave Amantorp with, okay, right, without that. Now, bear with me just a second. I'm going to confirm that over in the game. So please bear with me. We are going to be able to confirm it, just to make sure we're on good ground. Okay, bear with me. Then we'll be calling her quits for the day. We're a few minutes late because I would like to send everybody over to Fluffy Kitty Ninjas if I can. Be ready, because you stick around for a minute or two and we will raid Fluffy Kitty Ninjas show. But I'm first going to look around and see to make sure that I've got the correct username for Dave Amantorp. That is with the correct capitalization and everything. Because I promised my helpers at OOTP that I would be doing just that on future giveaways to confirm the name that's given to me, because it has backfired on us a couple of times and it's been a pain in the rump to try to get past. So please bear with me for a moment or two. It's only an inconvenience of a moment or two. So he says. But the game is now taking forever to get into Perfect Team.
Let me have fun with you.
Rendezvous.
Look at the way you move. I love making my knees go loose, so smooth. Like what I see in you.
Still trying to get into the game.
When I'm going mad, let's rendezvous. When I'm feeling bad, when I feel sad, let's rendezvous. Rendezvous.
Nice chill little track. Okay, here we go.
Let me have fun with you.
Okay, Dave Amantorp, I do see you. You are currently in stone. That tells me that, oh no, you've been around for a while. You've got a lifetime record of 859 and 599 in the game. So you do have a World Series trophy that I see, and you've made 8 playoffs, so you're not a brand new player. You have the Adena Ocelots, okay? That's your team name. So I did find you. You are confirmed. That's the name that I'll be passing along to my helpers at OOTP. So one more time, congratulations to Dave Amantorp for winning the 25,000 perfect points, and you should see them within the next day. Okay? So thanks everybody for stopping in. Let's get ready to go raid us a Fluffy Kitty Ninja show. Okay? Okay, we are going to raid FKN Commish LB. That's FKN is not what you think it is. Get your mind out of the gutter, chat. It is Fluffy Kitty Ninjas. Okay, so you're going to see the Fluffy Kitty Ninja show, and we are going to raid them straight away. So thanks everybody for coming in and spending some time with the old fart today. Gorgo 2005, rounding third and heading for home. Have a great rest of the day, everybody, and give Commish LB all the Gorgo love that you can. Okay? Take care now. Bye-bye.